Welcome to my house. Welcome to the Structure Talk podcast, a production of Structure Tech Home Inspections. My name is Reuben Saltzman. I'm your host, alongside building science geek Tessa Murray. We help home inspectors up their game through education, and we help homeowners to be better stewards of their houses. We've been keeping it real on this podcast since 2019, and we are also the #1 home inspection podcast in the world, according to my mom. Good to see you, Tessa, as always. Have you made it out to the great Minnesota get-together, the Minnesota State Fair yet?
Hey, Reuben. Good to see you, too. You know, the fair is not really my thing.
Okay.
Large crowds, a ton of people, shoulder to shoulder, touching sweaty bodies, eating way too much fried food on a really hot day is like not my idea of a good time. I know that that's like, people don't say that here in Minnesota. Everybody's a huge fan of the fair, but I go if I have to.
It's all fried food, isn't it? Yeah.
Except for the cookies. What is that? Sweet Martha's cookies or whatever. I always end up eating way too many of those and then feel so sick.
Yeah. I journal every day. What I like to do is look at last year's journal, the day I went to the fair, and what are my notes for myself? And one of my notes for myself was, go ahead, get Sweet Martha's cookies for the kids, eat 1 or 2 cookies, and be done. That's it. I wrote that in a note to myself.
And did you adhere to your own prescription?
Oh yeah, and of course I made it too. But I mean, for anybody who doesn't know what this is, it's like they give you a bucket of cookies, and
yes,
when you have a good person working at the stand, and they've got 3 of them, they got 3 huge ones. When you got a good person, they will get a full sheet of cookies into that bucket, and they tower it so high that it's like by the time you're done eating enough to get the lid on, you're gonna explode. I mean,
the cookies are overflowing, and they are hot, fresh off the grill. I don't know. How do they bake that many cookies? I don't remember, but they're just, I mean, they're warm, gooey, delicious, and they're like the best cookies you've ever had, and you can't just eat one. So that's impressive, Reuben. Yeah,
I stuck with 2 because I remember last year I had like a sugar crash or something, and I got home and I had to take a nap. Like
Which
2
is
in the afternoon.
Unheard of for you. Yeah,
that was not good. So I stuck with it this year. Now my kids, not so much. I woke up this morning, the bucket's sitting on the counter empty.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
There's always like a day or 2 food hangover after you go to the fair.
Yeah. So I feel like, despite watching that, everything you get, I tried to get some healthier stuff, like vegetable based stuff, but it was still fried.
Yeah.
I feel like I still got a little bit of that food hangover.
For sure. Yeah. Well, that's good for you for surviving another round of the fair. You can write yourself advice for next year.
Yep. I already did. Yep. I did that this morning. Exactly. Yep.
What's your piece of advice you're going to give yourself?
Just make sure you get there by 9:30. Parking lot that I usually like to go to is starting to fill up. And remember to bring water for the kids because they get thirsty all day. And if I don't, then we got to buy $6 waters. I hate the thought of that. Other than that, I think I got it pretty well dialed in.
Nice. Yeah. That's impressive. Impressive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Always fun. And I guess at the time this is airing, it'll be the last day of the fair on Labor Day. That's always the last day.
Okay.
So good stuff.
Yeah. Exciting.
All right. Well, Tessa, let's get into our topic for today. Today, we're going to talk about bathroom remodels and some tips and tricks. If you're going to be doing a bathroom remodel, what's some stuff you can do to just bring it up a notch or 2, bring it to the next level? Because as home inspectors, we get to go into a lot of different houses. We get to see a lot of cool things that people have done. And then we get to take those home and do it when we're remodeling our own bathrooms. And I thought of this morning. I go in the first floor bathroom. It's the one everybody uses more than anything else. And there's no toilet paper. And I'm thinking to myself, we've got a bidet in our bathroom. Who's even using toilet paper? That's what I want to know. Why do we even need toilet paper anymore? That's
Prepare
what I
yourself,
want to know.
listeners. This
Yep.
show might get a little bit, don't be, I hope you're not eating any food right now if you're listening. So,
Yeah, we're about Tessa. You can just, you can silence your mic because we're going to get into it right now. This is going to
oh
get
my
a little
gosh.
uncomfortable, but I got to tell you. Oh, okay. What? You got to say
Well,
something.
no. I was just going to say, I mean, you sent me, when you thought we should do this topic on a podcast, you sent me like a really long list of all of these things that I'm assuming you have done to your own personal bathroom. Is that correct?
I think I've done all of them. Yeah. I think I have. And not just, it hasn't been just one bathroom. I mean, someday I may have all of these in one bathroom, but we've done it in various bathrooms throughout various houses. And I think they're all cool tricks.
Well, let's not waste any more time. Let's get into this list. I'm sure our listeners are dying to know how you have pimped out your bathrooms.
All right, let's get into it. Well, number one, we'll say a bidet. I can't say enough about it. The great toilet paper shortage of 2020 would have never happened if everybody had bidets. If you've ever changed a little kid's diaper, poopy diapers, and you try to clean up your kid with just toilet paper, it's not really going to do the trick. It's not a very thorough cleaning. Wet wipes will do the trick, but what's even better, it's a bidet, because then you don't have any garbage to get rid of. And I always thought it was a little kooky, a little strange. My wife, when I put it in, she's like, that's weird. But
but now she loves it. Does Anna love it?
She has turned the corner. Yes. She loves that thing. Everybody in the family loves it. And I mean, it's like you sit down, you got a nice warm toilet seat, and you got
a warm toilet seat. Is that
I think pretty much all bidets come with a seat warmer. So you have a heated toilet seat. And when I first got it, my wife was like, wait a minute, how much is this costing us? This is going to be another $30 a month. I measured it. I used my little plug-in thing to see how much it's costing us per month. And it costs like $0.25 a month in electricity usage. I mean, it's nothing. It's nothing measurable, basically.
Oh my gosh. So what's the tool you use again to measure that?
It's this little thing that plugs into the wall, and then you plug in your appliance into it. It's called a kilowatt.
Okay.
I have one of those Sense home energy monitors, and it'll monitor everything in your house, but it doesn't dial into little things like that. You can't accurately monitor that, so you can use a standalone device for that.
Very cool.
And those kilowatt devices, they're like $30 or something.
So it doesn't take a lot of electricity to run it, and you get the benefit of a cleaner bottom, no toilet paper, and no waste from wet wipes, which the planet is thanking you for. So it seems like a win-win-win.
What's not to love about that? And what I'd say here, a bidet is a very easy installation to add it onto your existing toilet. It just replaces your toilet seat. It uses the same waterline connector that you have for your supply line. I mean, it's like, I don't think you even need a wrench. You just unscrew it by hand. You feed it into the bidet's line or something. And it's I don't know. It comes with everything you need. It's a piece of cake. You can add it on to any existing toilet. The one, I say any, as far as I know.
Most,
There's going to be some exceptions out there.
Yeah.
But the one thing is that you do need to plug it into an outlet. So if you're doing a bathroom remodel, whether you want the bidet or not, maybe you're going to change your mind in the future. My advice would be install an outlet near the toilet, maybe behind the toilet on the side farthest from the door, so it's concealed a little bit. Go ahead and add an outlet there in case you're going to want to do it in the future.
Are there any code issues with putting an electrical outlet that close to, a toilet? No. Right?
No issue.
Okay.
No. Totally fine.
That seems easy enough. That's a really good thing for people to think about if they're going to do a remodel. And I think once you've tried a bidet and you've kind of gotten over that initial hump or that hesitation/fear, they are a great addition.
It is, and it's warmed water. It warms the water for you. It's like what? It's delightful. Okay, all right. Enough for day talk. Moving on to the next one.
Okay, so what's your second upgrade that you've done or you would recommend?
Second one. This was in the first house that we really gutted the bathroom and redid it. Something I really don't regret doing is I put built-in speakers in the wall, and it wasn't any big project. All I did was buy computer speakers, $100 set of speakers where it had a little sub that sat inside the cabinet, inside the sink base cabinet.
Okay.
And I had 2 wall speakers, and I just ran wires up inside the wall to the speakers that I mounted inside the wall, just set them on some studs, and just got, if you can buy speakers that have removable grills, you can have the grills just attached to the drywall. For the bathroom, my basement bathroom now, I wasn't able to find that. So I just got some cloth, like speaker cloth, and I made some little makeshift grills out of some thin lumber, like maybe 1x2s or something, just kind of tacked them together to make them square. Took the speaker cloth, wrapped it around and stapled it to the back and just hung it on a couple of nails. So it looks like speaker grills, and it's flush with the wall. And then I ran a little cord up, and it comes out of the wall, and it goes to a little $30 Echo Dot, one of the Amazon or Alexa devices, and it plugs into there. So you can talk to your Alexa, and it plays music through nice speakers. It's not like a cheesy little speaker sitting on your countertop. Which is
what I do.
All built in. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but it's so easy to do this, and it costs you nothing. I mean, it costs you. It's the cost of computer speakers, which are really inexpensive. And I mean, I say $100. I'm sure you could get some good sounding ones for $50 if you wanted.
Oh my gosh, Reuben, I'm sitting here and I am in awe of you. This project is something I would never think to do, never want to do. And here you are, you're like, it's a piece of cake. What happens when the speakers stop working? Do you have an access panel to get to it? Or I guess where the speaker actually is, you can take that off and then reach in the wall and remove the speaker?
the wires in the wall. But I mean, as far as computer speakers going, I gotta tell you, Tess, the first pair of computer speakers I ever bought when I got my first PC back in the late 90s, it was these Alltech Lansing speakers, and it's the same speakers I have sitting at my computer right now. I mean, I've had these for over 20 years, and they're still great. They still work fine.
Oh my
I've
God.
never heard of computer speakers going bad. I'm sure it does happen, but I've just had really good luck. I've never had a set go bad on me.
Interesting. Okay. Well, and I guess if you're building a new house today, though, houses are wired to have speaker systems that all are interconnected and talk to each other. So this would be an existing house that doesn't have any, speaker system, and you just want to be able to listen to music or podcast or something like that while you're in the bathroom getting ready. And this was your solution.
Exactly. And if you like the idea of it, I mean, in my basement bathroom, the one where I added it on to the existing bathroom, I didn't do a gut. All I did was I fished some wires up inside the wall. I drilled a couple of holes inside the cabinet into the wall, and then I ran my fish tape up, and I knew which stud cavity it was going to be, and I drilled the hole there and just did a little cutout in the drywall, put a little blocking inside the wall for a shelf for my speaker, and put the speaker up. I mean, there was nothing to it.
I'm getting into the weeds, but how did you attach the blocking to the stud with just a tiny little access hole to it?
That's a great question, Tess, and I don't remember. That is a very fair question.
How do you nail that in if you don't have access? Did you glue it, super glue it? I don't know, because the speakers are probably light. But
no, that's a fair question. I have no idea. I probably toe screwed it.
You didn't leave a future note to yourself in your journal. for tips on
No,
how to do it again in the future.
no, I probably took pictures in the process, but I'd have to dig those
Yeah.
up.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good tip. I always just take my little portable speaker into my bathroom and listen to stuff when I'm getting ready, but you have definitely stepped it up a notch, Reuben,
I
as
stepped
always.
it up. Yep, that's what I used to do. Is I'd have a portable speaker that I bring in there, but no more. Now I just say,
Yeah.
Alexa, play my music.
Now you're really living.
Heck yeah.
Surround sound in your bathroom.
Yep, exactly. Lots of bass. No, just kidding.
Sub in your cabinet. I thought, oh man, he's serious.
They come with a sub, you know? Not like you need it, but why not?
So have you done this in your kids' bathroom or just yours?
Just mine so far. And my
Okay.
kids' bathroom is the one bathroom we have not touched since we got this house. But it's coming eventually. And I'm just going to connect it to one of those little Echo dots.
Yeah.
And it provides whatever sound you want based on the quality of the speakers you buy. So
just saying, you've got some preteens and teens, right, in your house?
Yeah.
You might regret that decision.
You're probably right. Yeah. Kids, turn it off. Right.
Or don't give them the sub, just give them the little mini speakers.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So what's number 3 on your list?
Number 3 would be heated floors. Now, of course, you got to be replacing the floor, and it doesn't go for every bathroom. If you've got a second story bathroom and you don't have tiled floors, I mean, if you've got like laminate floors or LVT or whatever you want to call it, those don't really get that cold. But if you've got a basement bathroom and it's on a slab, you need heated floors. And it's not like you need to have the heat cranked up where your toes are toasty, but at least keep the heat up enough to where the floor is not frigid.
Yeah.
So nice.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I did that in my condo when I remodeled it, and it was not a basement slab. It was second or third story actually. But just when you get out and you step on cold tile, it just doesn't feel nice. And I think that was one of the nicest like upgrades that I'm glad that I did that. It was money well spent. Although I never calculated how much money and electricity that cost.
Yeah, it is a fair dent. That is one of those things that my Sense home energy monitor picks up on.
Okay.
And it's not cheap. I do keep mine dialed down to where it's not toasty floors. It's just, it keeps it above freezing because it is expensive for that.
Do you have any idea, like based on kind of how big your bathroom is, how much per month that costs to keep it running, keep it on?
My guess would be somewhere in the $5 to $10 range.
Kind of what I was thinking, like at least 10. I remember seeing my electricity bill spike. So, yeah.
If you want toasty toes, it's going to be expensive.
It's a luxury for sure. Yeah.
Yep. But I mean, at least put it in so you can warm your floors in the dead of winter. And
here's a question. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
Yeah. I wonder what the lifespan or the longevity of those electrical systems, the in-floor heat is. Do you have any idea?
I don't.
Because you're laying them down and then you're putting tile over top of it. And so like if it just stops working, like in 10 years, then you're screwed unless you want to rip all your tile out and redo it again.
I think you're right about that, Tess. Yeah. Yeah. You could be really screwed if it goes bad.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you would fix that. I've talked to some electricians based on some client concerns about what you can do. And they've said you can take an infrared camera and you can scan the floor and see if there's any hot spots. But if it's not working at all, that's not going to help you.
Yeah.
So that could be a pain. But as far as cost goes, it's going to be a couple $100 for materials. You're going to have to buy the floor mats. You're going to have the
thermostat.
The wall thermostat. That might be another $100, $150 for a thermostat. It's probably going to have a built-in GFCI device. And then after that, it's just the cost of running the wires to that location. You're probably going to want to have you're surely going to want to have a dedicated circuit for that.
Which could cost money. And depending on your situation in your house, if you've got an electrical panel that's every slot is full and there's no space in the panel to add another circuit, then
Yeah, that's where it
yeah.
could become a bigger deal. Yep,
Yeah.
agreed.
Yeah. Is that something you'd say that I know it depends on skill level, but that an electrician should probably do that for someone?
I'd have to agree. That's
Yeah.
probably an electrician doing it. It's kind of more advanced.
I was gonna say
Yep.
the wall speakers and the bidet probably, a homeowner who's feeling you know, courageous and adventurous could try that, but I don't know about the all running the circuits and laying down the mats and everything. It's like,
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
not.
that's an advanced installation. Yep.
Yeah.
And when you're doing it, I mean, after you lay it down, they tell you got to take your voltometer and you got to measure the amount of ohms and test the resistance before you lay down your floor. And then after you lay down your floor, you got to test the resistance in the circuit again. And a lot of it, it's not basic homeowner stuff.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Probably a good job for an electrician.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
if you got everything torn apart, it sure is a nice addition.
Agreed. You sold me on that one. Okay, what's number 4?
Number 4, and this is one that I saw my neighbor do when they remodeled their bathroom. So we copied them. We just did kind of a bathroom remodel for Anna's bathroom. And we did a tiled shower, and we had a tiled nook for shaving of the legs.
Oh,
What do you
this
think
wasn't
about
for
that?
you. This wasn't in your shower either. This is just
This is
Anna's.
not in my shower. This is just in her shower.
I know you do extreme sports. I wasn't sure if you try to be more aerodynamic sometimes, but no, I think that, you know what, if you've just got a stand-up shower, it's nice to have some place where you can rest your leg.
Yeah. It seemed like a good thing. I've seen women comment on that, how great this is.
Yeah.
So,
if you don't have like a little seat or a bench in your shower, for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Although, you know what? Now that I think about it, I wanted to do that in ours. I suggested it, and then my wife wanted a seat or a bench. So we ended up with a bench. But if you don't have a seat or a bench,
then you can do that.
Bench. Yeah.
The
recessed foot stand, I guess.
Didn't even know that existed, but yeah. That's cool. Very
Seemed
cool.
like genius.
Yeah. Okay.
This is
what about
another
number
one.
5?
Oh, okay, number 5. And this is a lot like the heated floors. This is a great one if you've got a cold basement bathroom and you're going to have electrical work done. Is to add on a wall heater.
Okay.
I think that's a great addition for a basement bathroom. It's just a little electric heater. It's built into the wall. You kick it on, and it's going to warm up your bathroom. And I'll admit, I don't use mine a whole lot, but some days you just want that extra heat. You know, it's a really cold day. You're feeling cold to the core. And it is nice to bring up the temperature in the bathroom because, as you know, the warmer air is going to hold more moisture and you end up with a lot less condensation on your walls and your mirror and all that other stuff when you have a warmer environment where you're taking a shower. So,
less likely to have mold. Yeah.
Yep. And a lot of those just don't get a ton of heat from the furnace. In fact, talking about home inspection stuff and code requirements, there's actually no requirement in the building code to supply heat to a bathroom. A bathroom is not considered habitable space, and the code only requires heat to be provided to habitable spaces. Now, most builders are going to just add heat because people want it and expect it.
Yeah.
But it's not required. So
that's so crazy, isn't it? If there's one room where like you want to have some airflow and some circulation, like it would definitely, and for comfort reasons, would be a bathroom.
Yeah. Totally agree.
Wow. That's crazy. You know, along those lines, kind of with the wall heater, have you ever had a heated towel rack before or used one?
I've never owned one of those. Are those good? I've seen them, but I've never appreciated how good they could be.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, I haven't seen any here, at least where we are in the Midwest, but when I've traveled abroad, I've been in places that have them. And well, actually, I mean, I'm not even sure if it like doubles as a like a radiator for the bathroom. Like it heats up the bathroom, but you can also put your towel on it. If anyone's listening and knows, please send us an email at Reuben
Podcast at structuretech.com.
Yeah, and let us know because it was comfortable. Yeah, radiant heat is always comfortable, and then also having a nice warm towel when you get out of the shower to grab is like the best.
Yeah, and I got to say, if you've got an older house in, Minneapolis, St. Paul, something like that, and you've got radiators for heat, you got those old cast iron radiators, you could certainly use that for your towel warming rack. They don't get dangerously hot. Why not throw your towel over that? You've got your built-in towel heater right there.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep, for sure. Okay. I'm sure you've probably got one more thing on this list. What are we at now? 6 or 7?
I've got 2 more. One of them we've talked about on the show before, and I don't know if you consider this a huge upgrade, but I think it's a good thing to have in any bathroom, is a timer for your bathroom exhaust fan. Replace the toggle switch with a timer. Not a big deal to do this. This I would consider a starter DIY electrical project. Okay. Not that big of a deal to do it. I mean, it's about as tough as replacing a light switch. It's about that level of skill. And now you're going to have a timer, so you can turn on your fan and you can have it running the whole time you're in the shower. You can leave and still have the fan running for another half hour or whatever it is to remove all that extra moisture, because you don't want the fan just running while you're in there and have it shut off again. The one thing I'd say is that with a lot of these, they do require a neutral. So if you don't know that you have a neutral wire in that box, then you're going to want to try to find a timer that doesn't require a neutral wire. Something to think about.
I did not know that. Yep. So full of information, Reuben. I was going to say the bath timer would be really nice. I wish I had that because I always try to leave the fan on at least 30 minutes after I shower, or until it it feels like all of the moisture is gone out of the room as best I can. And then sometimes though, I'll forget about it and I'll leave and I'll come back at the end of the day in the evening and I'll go in and the fan is still running and I'm like, oh shoot.
Yeah. And from a building science standpoint, you've got 80 CFM leaving all day. What else does that mean, Tess?
Yeah, it could create some other different dynamics that are not desirable in other parts of your house, just depending on how airtight your house is and what kind of combustion appliances you have. But it could create a negative pressure. So it is interesting. Even if like you've got a pretty airtight house and you've got a bath fan on in the upper level, you'll notice maybe like all the smells from dinner cooking down below get upstairs faster with the fan running. Yeah. It's just changing the airflow in the house.
And what I was thinking about is your energy penalty, because if you've got 80 CFM of heated air leaving your house, you have to have 80 CFM of outdoor air entering in. Yeah. You gotta heat. I mean, that's pumping in all day. Yeah. And you get funny about leaving your door open a little bit, but now you're forcing that cold air in all the time. It's going to make its way into the house.
For sure. And I mean, if you're in a really hot, humid climate, or it's like Minnesota in July and August and it's 100 degrees outside and the dew point's like 70 degrees, you're actually pulling in hot humid air. And you could be like, instead of just eliminating the moisture out of your bathroom, now you've like increased the humidity levels in your house because your fan's been running all day pulling in all this hot humid air.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm much less funny about running my exhaust fan in the summertime because I just figure I'm not going to have crazy condensation issues anyway. I just do it so it's not nasty in there.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. Yep.
All right.
Okay. Do you have one more?
My last one is kind of a bonus one. It's one we've talked about on the show before, and I've never done this in a bathroom. I'd like to someday. I'd like to have the room for it.
Drum roll. I feel like we need a drum roll.
I did this in my unfinished basement at my last house.
Okay.
Just had it kind of wide open, and I installed the sink next to it. I installed a urinal.
Oh, yes. Yep. How could I forget?
How could you forget?
We did have an episode about that, didn't we?
We covered it on this podcast for sure.
I don't remember. What episode was that we talked about that?
It was a long time ago. It had to be season 1 or 2. I don't know.
Man, yeah, 2019 or 2020 probably,
But
but
yeah, but urinals are for guys. You'll never appreciate it, Tess, but urinals are really great.
oh my
I,
gosh.
I won't get into all the specifics, but they don't take up a lot of room. I mean, you're right there. Why not? I don't know any guy who wouldn't be delighted to have a urinal in their house.
I wonder
So
if that affects resale in a negative way.
I'll tell you what, when I sold my last house, what I heard through the real estate agents was they took one look in the basement, they saw that urinal, and the guy was like, "We need to buy this house." Just saying.
Oh my god. It
Yeah.
it emphasized the man cave points, I guess, but
For sure.
that's okay, that's pretty funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not a must-have. And again, it's something I have not done in a finished bathroom of ours. I just kind of did it on a whim at a house I used to have in an unfinished area. But
Did Anna
someday
agree
I
to
will
that?
do it.
Did
Yeah.
Anna agree, or did you just do that and then she found out later?
I told her I was gonna someday, and it was one of those things like we're probably having a glass of wine together. I'm like, one of these days I'm gonna put her in a urinal, and she pats me on the head, says, "Sure you are, honey."
Okay, Reuben.
And I will admit, I did do it while she was out of town.
And you're still married, so it's okay.
Yep. No,
It's not her bathroom.
Delightful.
Yeah, it's not her bathroom. She's not cleaning it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Well, this is not as exciting as a urinal, but one thing I just thought of that I think is a really nice touch too is dimmer switches.
Oh,
in
yeah.
bathrooms. If you don't have dimmer switches, like that is something to think about adding because it's easy and it makes such a difference if you've got sconces or the lights above the sink. You turn that thing on and it's just super bright and you want to, not have that shining in your face. A dimmer can make all the difference.
100%, Tess. Totally agree. And it's not a big deal to replace those. And you know what? Here, I'm going to give you another tip on the dimmer switch.
Yeah.
I will never buy a traditional dimmer switch again. You can buy these Alexa Internet of Things, internet-enabled dimmer switches for the same price. It's like Amazon Basics dimmer switches. They're like $20, and they connect to the internet, and then you sync them up with your Alexa devices. It's a piece of cake to do it. It's like 2-minute setup, and then you can do whatever you want with it. You can get on your Alexa app, and you can set routines for it. Like for my outdoor light, I've got a routine where it turns on at dusk and it turns off in the morning, so we don't forget, because we would constantly forget and leave our light on all day. And you can also just talk to any of your Alexa devices and say, turn off the basement lights, and then it turns off the basement lights. And it doesn't cost any more than regular dimmer switches. So as far as I'm concerned, that's the only way to go now.
So you don't have to go into your phone, open the app, and do all that, because that would be too much for me. Like, I just want to be able to just go into the bathroom and turn them on when I want them on.
Yeah, just looking at it, you can't tell the difference. It looks like any other toggle dimmer switch.
Oh, okay. So you can still do the manual control on it, but absolutely. If you want to verbally say something, you can go through Alexa and turn down the lights.
Yeah, okay. I suppose you could go in your phone and do it, but I've never tried.
No.
Yeah.
Too cumbersome.
We do it most of the time. We still do it by touch. But if I'm standing at the top of the stairs, I notice the lights are on downstairs. Yeah. I could just say, turn off the lights, and then I don't need to go down there. So I love those.
Oh,
nice. I guess we're talking about bathrooms. I couldn't see the value in doing that in the bathroom. I don't know what circumstances that would be helpful.
Well, if you're in the shower and you want to change the light setting and you can't reach it, you could yell out to Alexa.
Sure.
It could take care of it for you.
And if it costs the same, I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what, Tess, you bring that up, and I gotta add on one more. I was at a friend's house and I saw this mirror that he had. It was the main mirror. You know what I'm talking about. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it was like a hotel style mirror where it had a light going around the perimeter of it.
built
and
into the mirror. Like it
built
looks
into
like
the mirror.
glass, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now, you do need to think about this. You need to run a circuit if you're going to do that. It's going to be hardwired. You need to run some cable to it. But I ended up ordering one of those, and it is such a good look. It's the only light that I use in my basement bathroom, really, unless I turn on the shower light. I put in some sconces because I didn't know if it was going to be bright enough.
Yeah.
But it provides such a nice light. It is just,
It's
it feels
perfect
like
for
you're
your
in a hotel.
selfies.
It's perfect for my selfies. Exactly. Every day, selfies
Yeah.
in front of the mirror in the bathroom. Yep.
It's where you film all your videos.
Totally. But
It's like a big selfie ring.
it really does. It casts a nice light. And the one I happened to order, I don't think I even knew it had this. But then found out later when you turn the light on, or you turn on power to it, it also came with a defogger. So you can get out of the shower, and
nice.
For women, I guess it may not be as important, but for guys, you get out of the shower and that's when you want to shave.
Yeah.
And it's like you've got a defogged mirror no matter what you did.
How does it do that? Do you know how?
I use my infrared camera right away to see exactly where the heat strip was.
Oh my gosh. So it heats up the glass so that it doesn't have condensation on it.
Exactly.
Oh, crazy.
It's got a little heater in there. It doesn't use much power.
I was just going to ask you, have you tested it? Do you know how much it costs?
I tested it. It was next to nothing, but even if it was something significant, it's only on when the light is on.
Okay.
So you're not having it on for a long period of time. It's like you shut the light off, it turns off, and you're good.
And are there different shades of light that you can choose from and toggle through? Like on this?
There are, Tessa. There's
Tell me about that.
3 different hues, and then it's also got a dimmer built into it.
Oh, nice. Like a soft, a warm light, and then a cooler, like natural daylight look. Okay.
Yep, exactly.
That's nice. That's really nice.
I love that thing. And I never would have thought to do it. It was... I kind of broke the budget on that one. It was more expensive than I wanted it to be, but I just felt like I can't live without this now. I think it was probably about $500-600.
Okay. And but it's big though, right? Like it's
smaller ones would have been less. I think I got the biggest one. It was like a 5-foot one or something.
Yeah. So we're not talking like a small little mirror. It's like 5 feet wide by what, like 4 feet? No, 3 feet tall?
Maybe 3 feet. I think it was 5 by 3.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But now that you've had that, you'll never go back to a standard
Absolutely
mirror.
Not. And you know what? For this podcast, in the show notes, I will include a photo of that mirror. And in that photo, I'll be sure to capture the wall speakers and my little Alexa dot on the wall, just so you can kind of get an idea. And this was a weekend bathroom makeover where I added the mirror, I added the speakers, and I painted, and I added some wall sconces and the wall heater. It's like it wasn't a big bathroom remodel. It was just kind of a refresh, doing all these little touches. And it's like,
I thought you were going to say you just did it. I thought you were going to say you just did it in your sleep one night, Reuben.
I wish.
You did all that in a weekend? Oh my gosh. You put me to shame. Weekend. Yeah.
Full weekend.
Yeah. Yep. Well, this was insightful and fun. And now I feel like my bathroom is completely inadequate.
And you've got some good ninja tips for your next makeover. You got some stuff to think about.
Oh yeah, for sure. You know what? I'm just happy that I have a flushing toilet, and a sink that works and a shower that's good. So we go.
Those are all great things. And Tessa, have you ever stopped to appreciate what a luxury hot running water is?
Oh yes. I mean, that's what I was thinking about. I'm like, these are all first world things we're talking about on this podcast, but for sure, when I've been out of the country, and I did a trip when I was in high school, a mission trip down to Mexico, and my showers consisted of scooping green water out of a standing rain barrel and dumping it over my head for a week. So when I got home, I was like, this is the best thing ever.
It's a luxury.
Shower. It totally is. Yeah, I do not take it for granted, for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. Well, should we wrap this one up, Reuben? How should people get a hold of us if they want to? And please, if you enjoy this podcast, we never do this, Reuben, but we should ask for people to like and subscribe to this podcast and share it. Yeah.
Wherever you listen, and rate us.
Yeah, rate us.
Rating or a review or whatever. We sure would appreciate it.
Yep, we love hearing from you guys.
We do. And you can reach out to us, any thoughts, comments, show suggestions. Send us an email to podcast@structuretech.com.
Perfect. All right. Well, it was good seeing you, Reuben.
You too, Tessa. Appreciate it.
Yep. We'll see you next time. Yep. Bye.